What's up everyone, Xuses here and welcome to my review of Street Fighter 5. As the title says, this is going to be a 100% honest review by an actual fighting game player, so I'll try my best to break down as much of the game as possible. So stick around because you might just learn something, or maybe you won't and I'll get trolled in the comment section, but that's fine too. Alright, so without wasting any more time, let's get right to it. Street Fighter 5 looks really good. Everything from the character models to the stages, the special attacks and even the smallest details such as events happening in the background looks really detailed and vibrant. Capcom has a history of making beautiful looking fighting games and this game is no different. This is definitely the best looking Street Fighter to date. And whilst awesome looking character models is a nice little bonus to have, the animations in this game is where Capcom truly excels. I don't know what it is about these guys, but they have incredible talent in making fighting games that look and feel so fluid. Every kick, punch, dash, jump and special attack feels very smooth and satisfying. Street Fighter 5 characters have never looked better, well, maybe with the exception of Ken's fruity hair and horrific face. Another point worth mentioning is the soundtrack. There's so much to talk about here, so I'll try to sum it up the best I can. First of all, we have stage themes which change in variation each round, so you will never get the same tune twice. Then, as your health lowers closer to death, the music will once again change, highlighting the urgency by upping the tempo of the beat. This is a nice little addition to have as it makes the fights feel more dynamic and less repetitive. Then we have character themes. All of the old characters received fantastic remastered versions of their Street Fighter 2 tunes, whilst the newer ones were greeted with some really well orchestrated music which fits the character's personality and characteristics perfectly. No complaints here, everything is on point. My personal favourite is Rashid, by the way. And whilst we're still on the topic of presentation, let me quickly mention the insane amount of tits and ass this game has on display. Holy shit, there's a lot of skin on offer here and one has to wonder how exactly did Capcom manage to pull off a teen rating. The voice acting is acceptable. Capcom has a tendency to produce cringeworthy dialogue and that is definitely present here, but this time I'm not quite sure if it was deliberate or accidental.
You just hit me ass of a tea kettle!
How about some after-meal exercise?
Huh? Haven't eaten nothing yet.
How considerate of you. But I just dined with the Prime Minister.
Hey, I wasn't talking about your meal.
I personally found Birdie and Rashid to be quite amusing, but I know a lot of people will be switching some of the character voices to Japanese. I guess it all comes down to personal preference, but that's a nice little option to have. Street Fighter 5 launches with 16 diverse characters, with all of them having their own fighting styles, each of which have their own unique V-skills and movesets, giving you hours of fun as you explore new and exciting ways to use each and every character. The roster is to be bolstered even further with 6 more characters to be released post-launch, with Capcom having a release schedule of 1 new character per month. The first of which will be Alex, releasing in March. You can definitely expect the roster count of 22 to be expanded even further come 2017, because Capcom have plans to support this title for many years to come. One big downside I have to this game are the short and uninteresting combos. You will often find yourself repeating the same moves, and I'm really disappointed in Capcom taking out some of the more flashier combos that were seen in Phase 2 of the public beta. I guess you can't have everything, but it would be cool to see some more diversity in combos somewhere down the line. Let's begin with the story mode. There's not a lot on offer here, in fact, there's barely anything. You select a character, beat a few opponents, watch a couple of slideshows, select the next character and repeat. The CPU difficulty definitely needs to be upped because you can literally complete the story mode by mashing one button. This may sound stupid to thrill-seeking single-player veterans, but here's the flip side. You're most likely going to be purchasing Street Fighter 5 for the multiplayer component. This means you would want to unlock everything the single player part of the game has to offer as soon as possible, and this is why I like it how it is. I don't want to spend countless hours unlocking costumes and colours, so I'm very pleased with how quickly I managed to complete the story mode with each character. As far as narrative and storytelling goes, it's all over the place. I know there's a bigger plot with Bison trying to take over the world and stuff, but for the most part, everyone is just travelling around the world fighting each other. Take Laura for example. One moment she's chilling inappropriately with her younger brother, and then before you know it, she wants to travel the world and get some from Ryu and Zangief. A lot of these characters do have a lot of backstory, but I'm only going to review what's shown in this game, and that is very little. I should also mention that there's a lot more being added to the story mode in the coming months. The current story mode is supposed to act as a prologue to the cinematic story expansion, which will become available in June as a free download. Capcom has said that this expansion will focus on a character's background stories, so for those of you who might be bashing the OD slideshow presentations, just be patient. Next up is survival mode. If you're having a rough night in multiplayer, you might want to switch it up with some offline point scoring. You basically fight your way through a set number of opponents and you're scored based on how quickly and efficiently you dispatch your enemies. Finishing your opponent with an EX special ability or a critical art will net you more points, but if you want to have an even higher score, you should double down as often as possible and keep your spending on the other items minimal. If you want alternate colors for your characters, you're going to have to complete this mode on easy, normal and hard. And this is where I have another problem. I would have preferred to complete it once on hard and unlock all other prior colors, but I am forced to do it 3 times per character. There is also a 4th difficulty called Hell, where you have to fight through 100 opponents. I don't understand why this more difficult setting has no bonus color for completing it. I also wasn't able to find any online leaderboards, so Capcom should definitely look into that. But if you're looking to earn quick fight money, you should definitely repeat this mode on all difficulties with every character. Versus mode is the same as it has always been, but what I'm really impressed with is the new and improved training mode. It shows a wide range of features to help level up your game even further. For example, by turning on state settings, simply tapping up on the R3 stick will switch the dummy from standing to jumping or crouching. Or another example is to turn on recovery and press down on the R3 stick to switch how the dummy recovers after being knocked down. Capcom has done a great job at giving you all the tools you need to become a better Street Fighter. Battle Lounge is a nice place to invite your friends and have some casual sets. Once again, it provides a lot of customizable options, and whilst there's currently only space for 2, the Battle Lounge will be expanded to 8 soon after launch. Unfortunately, the Challenges mode is unavailable until March, but it's a mode that will be continuously updated even after launch. The Capcom Fighters Network is a fantastic place to watch replays, search for specific players and check up on your rankings in the worldwide leaderboards. It's basically the SF5 analytical hub, collecting data from all matches played. A nice little feature of this game mode is that you can search for a specific player and add him as your favorite, giving you easier access to your favorite replays. It's definitely a mode worth checking out, so I'm glad Capcom added this in. And finally, we have casual and ranked matches. Casuals is a great place to take what you learned in training mode and apply it to actual real people before testing your skills in ranked. But ranked matches is where most of the fun lies. I'm also pleased that Capcom has finally realized the importance of online competitive gaming and invested in giving us a fantastic gaming experience. Let me begin by saying that online matches are ridiculously smooth. In fact, I don't think I've ever played a smoother fighting game online. Capcom gets bonus points for giving us even more control over how we want to play our matches by giving us the option to select how, where and who we play. You have the option to play either PS4 or PC users, or even both. But more importantly, you're able to select what connection quality you want. Choosing 5 or 4 to 5 will give you the smoothest experience as it pairs you with people in your region. Lowering it to 2 to 5 or 3 to 5 will put you up against anyone in the world. I personally had no problems playing against people in America because of the improved netcode this game has to offer, but your experience may vary. Nevertheless, selecting 4 to 5 will no doubt give you a fantastic online experience. And finally, the most important feature of online matchmaking, the ability to see who you are fighting. You can toggle the battle confirmation option on and off, which allows you to see your opponent's connection and choose whether you want to fight him or not without being forced into it. It's a small addition, but can make a world of difference and something that I believe every fighting game should have as standard. Street Fighter V introduces a new battle mechanic called a variable system, which is broken down into 4 different parts. First up, we have the V gauge, which fills up as you take hits or land your V skill on your opponent. Having a stocked V gauge gives you access to your V trigger and V reversal. Each character has a different V trigger, so when your gauge is full, it's best to use it as soon as possible because it doesn't carry over to the next round. V triggers range from teleports to power-ups to special attacks, and can be activated by pressing hard punch with hard kick at the same time. Activating your V trigger can give you a wide range of bonuses, such as opening up new combo possibilities and more damage. V skill, just like the V trigger, is character specific and ranges from parrying to absorbing your opponent's fireballs to new movement abilities. Successfully landing a V skill will build up your V gauge, giving you access to your V trigger and V reversal. This can be used at any time by pressing medium punch with medium kick at the same time. And finally, we have V reversals. This is the perfect tool for getting your opponent off you by dishing out a counter attack. Whilst blocking, press forward and all 3 punch buttons or forward and all 3 kick buttons, and it will use 1 stock of V gauge to release a counter attack. Once again, this varies depending on your character. Street Fighter V has been built around this system, so you will do well to learn the V skills on each and every character and use them wisely. Crush counters is something new to Street Fighter, where if you land a successful counter hit, your opponent will temporarily be unable to do anything because they are stunned. Landing a crush counter varies from character to character and is very much situational and can happen in many different ways, so it's best to learn all the possible variants to maximize your chances of winning because they can open up some really damaging combo opportunities. Capcom also decided to introduce a stun gauge. Stunning your opponents was always possible in previous Street Fighter games, but now you can see exactly how close you or your opponent is to being stunned. It's a very useful addition and can often influence how you play online. It's time to talk money. Street Fighter V currency is very important as it unlocks a wide variety of cool stuff, and it comes in 2 different forms, fight money and zenny. Fight money can be accumulated quite easily by playing online matches and completing single player objectives, including daily challenges. Zenny, on the other hand, is a form of premium currency which you acquire with real money. $6 gives you 600 zenny, the amount required for a downloadable character. I'd highly recommend completing single player objectives first to maximize the first time fight money bonuses, because 100,000 fight money is needed to unlock downloadable characters for free. Story mode costumes will cost 40,000 fight money, and premium costumes, which cannot be purchased with fight money, will cost 400 zennies, so basically $4. It's a brilliant system because it allows you to never be forced into buying a piece of game-changing DLC. You can earn all the DLC characters alongside many costumes just by playing the game. Street Fighter V may feel bare bones right now, but that's scheduled to change really quickly. In March, the in-game shop and challenges mode will open up. Spectator mode will be added. Daily challenges will become available, and all of this will be on top of the scheduled monthly DLC characters and massive cinematic story update coming in June. You can also expect the occasional balance patch maybe once or twice a year. Before this year is up, we'll have 22 playable characters, and knowing Capcom, you can definitely expect that number to rise to at least 30, if not 40 in the coming years. You can also expect the usual DLC such as extra stages and game modes, so all in all, there's so much to look forward to in the coming months and years. There has never been a more exciting time to be a Street Fighter fan. This review wouldn't be complete without some complaints, along with some extra bonus points which I didn't have time to fit into this review, which you can read in the description box below. And that pretty much sums it up. Should you pick up Street Fighter V? Absolutely. I cannot find a good enough reason not to purchase what is going to be the biggest fighting game for years to come. For those of you who've made it this far, a big thanks. I should probably also take this time to quickly mention all the other videos that I've just published right now, so you should definitely check those out if you got the time. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below and I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.